are back. We talking smack. When we're back, be right back. We are back in the house, back in the studio, live in Austin, Texas. It is May 29th, 2024. We're in the future, dude.
What?
We're in the future.
How are we in the future?
We're in the future. We talked about this one day. We were worried, though, would it be flying cars and hoverboards, or would it be a teenage wasteland? And I think we're getting a little bit of both.
I agree.
Got a little bit of both. We were talking about this earlier when on the way here. Dude, I've only been back in Texas for like 3 days. It's so bright.
It is very bright.
My eyes hurt.
Yeah, it's very bright in Texas.
We spent a lot of time in Jersey. Spent a lot of time. Luckily, got a movie theater in walking distance, and that really.
What was that called again? The
Cinema Lab.
The Cinema Lab.
Yes, Patrick Wilson of the Conjuring franchise fame, and also Owlman. He was, I guess, he's one of like the original investors. But they have like little micro theaters.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to go in there and just like digest a movie that you've already seen.
Yeah.
You just go the next day and see it again.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do, just go for a walk.
What was the turnout there at the micro theater?
Very small.
Very small.
Very small. And we're going to talk about this. So I think we're worried about the industry as a whole. If you can't get these little, but then again, it was actually really had a big show for old movies. The house was bigger. The house popped for old movies, but the new movies coming out, the house didn't really pop. The biggest audience I saw in there for a new movie was Bob Marley, One Love.
People loved it, that movie.
Yeah, I did.
Folks loved that movie.
I did. I loved it too. It was good. But maybe they felt like it was going to like a concert. I even saw 2 people dressed up, which I thought was interesting.
Not sure that's appropriate.
Yeah, they just got their Sunday best on.
Oh, I thought you meant dressed up like Bob Marley.
Oh yeah, no. Like cosplay. Yeah, man. But as you can hear, I got a little bit of road cold. It was a 3-day journey home. Similar to something, you could call it its own Mad Max saga, that drive. You're avoiding traffics.
Through the wastelands of New Jersey.
Wastelands of Jersey. So, but it feels good to be back in seat, back in the studio, ready to go.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy. We're just gone for like 9 months.
I know, it's just like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
9 months.
I'm going out for cigarettes.
But yeah, dude, we gotta catch up on our movie stuff. But you know, it was just fitting I had to tell you some of the movie adventures I went on while I was there in Jersey. before we get into what the hell's going on with summer movies so far. We were talking about Cinema Lab, which shout out to them. We're good. There's only like 3. There's 2 in Jersey and 1 floating around somewhere in the U.S., but it was pretty good.
Yeah. We've got a sort of a small cinema opening here in Austin, right? They're doing a Kickstarter for it right now.
What?
Yeah.
Us?
Not us. Not you and I. Not you and I would have let you know. But like, there's another thing that's formulating. It's called the Hyperreal Film Club.
Tell me about this.
I don't know much about it, but I know that it's been a cinema club that's been here in town for a few years. They've done screenings and whatnot. And I think they've done some short films, but they've got a Kickstarter, GoFundMe, whatever, the thing where you ask for money going on. They're trying to launch one of those micro theaters.
I love
what
that.
up, Anthony? Thanks for sticking around with us, brother.
Yeah, we're still.
It's good to see you. We miss you. We love you.
No, man. I love micro cinemas, dude. I mean, it just feels like you're in your own house. Like one day I just went in slippers.
Yeah.
I just like, it's fine. It's a micro theater. You don't have to get all dressed up.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. Shout out to them. Hopefully they make that work.
Well, we should look. We'll look up some of the stuff about it. They're having events coming up. Maybe we can go to one of their events.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I'm down.
Help them raise some money. Maybe we get them on the show.
Yeah. We were down with. Maybe we can do an all-night telethon.
Yeah, for sure.
I had to. We're spoiled in Austin. They have like every type of theater you can think of for the most part. They have it here. You get pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
And scattered all parts of town. You don't realize what I had to do to go hit up an Alamo in there, because they do have Alamos in the New York City. They got one in Manhattan. They got one in Brooklyn, and then they got one in Staten Island. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Angelina. So I had to go check out. I checked out the Brooklyn one. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta take mass transit. You can't drive there. Yeah. I mean, I think parking. It must have been like $100, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Sure,
by the time it was all said and done. So I was like, all right, we won't do that one again. Let's check out the Staten Island one. I think you can drive to that. So we're from where I was in Central Jersey. It was about a 45-minute drive, and you had to go over the bridge. You had to go over the Saturday Night Fever bridge. You did the Gothels. And it was good, man. I liked it. They had a kung fu theme, which is just right up your alley. I think I sent you a bunch of videos of all the posters that they had, and it was the flying guillotine. But it was really good. So I don't know what. Shout out to the Alamo Drafthouse Quality Control as far as creating the vibe, because out of all the theaters up, you can tell when you're in a theater up north. It's just I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
But they kept the vibe.
Yeah.
The food, though, I do have a note for the food. Somehow it tasted like the part of pizza is now going to be played by Jefferson Darcy. Like, it was like one of those things where it's a little different.
Yeah.
Just a little different to be off. Like, it's almost there.
Wait, they have great pizza on the East Coast.
No, but they had to stick with the Alamo, the bar pie, as Dave Portnoy would call it, the bar pie. And, the undercarriage, you had to check the undercarriage, looking for the flop. What kind of flop? There's no flop on an Alamo pizza. So it's just a little bit off. But other than that, they really did stick with the parody. So I had to check that box. But the big box we had to check, and let's talk about right there, is our buddy Kevin Smith. We can call him our buddy, right?
Who?
He hugged us, Kevin Smith.
I
think
he
he's our
told
buddy.
us to touch him wherever we wanted.
Yeah, he did. He had a doll, and
I would say that's
he
our
pointed out
friends.
the place where we should touch him. But I did it, dude. I made the journey to the Jersey Shore to see Smod Castle Cinemas. He's talked about it. He almost considers himself. What is his job? What is Kevin Smith? What is he? He's everything.
Well, I mean,
somehow.
He's still technically a writer. He writes, right?
He writes. He directs. He's an exhibitor now.
He's an exhibitor. Yeah.
He's an exhibitor right now.
He's a media creative. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
a
everything.
pop culture figure.
Yeah, he's all of those things, and rightfully so, man. It was great. I sent you some of the pictures there. It was. They kept the old school vibe, like if you're walking in like a little downtown area, and they had the marquee where you had to put the straight up the shoot letters. Nothing digital about it. He didn't digitize his marquee. You just slapped the letters up there. And the carpet had not been. It didn't look like he replaced the carpet. Like he just left it as, but it somehow it worked because it still was clean. It was a very clean theater.
Yeah.
It was on the smaller side, which probably we're used to all these mega theaters. So, this was the theater he grew up going to the movies in. So I'm not surprised it's small. Another note was there was no pre-show. Like the pre-show was a red velvet curtain, and you just sat there listening to him talk about the curated music, and it was mostly soundtrack songs.
Wait, that was on a recording, or he was actually?
Yeah, it was
there?
on a recording.
So you didn't see him there?
No, I did not see him there. But remember when we saw him live, and he said he had a door that he likes to freak out the people working the concession stand? I did see that door. I was like, oh, so if he is here, that's the door.
So I've got some of these images, but they're coming in sideways. But very cool. So that's New Jersey. Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, the Quick Stop is right next to it?
It's probably like 10 minutes up the road. It was like, 10 minutes up the road. Yeah, it was seeing the Dogma posters was a little kind of a bummer, man, because knowing that's trapped in some kind of limbo.
Harvey's got it. Harvey's got
it, and he's not letting it go. But great. So I think I told you you might have that shot, dude. That really popped. Like that stood out. Like that's Mod Castle Cinema colored sign in the very dull colored part of Atlantic Heights, Jersey. That really did stand out. Like if you're just like some kid going by, it would like catch your eye. Like, is that a candy store or something?
What was the snack situation?
The snack situations were your standard movie fare. Nothing fancy. No muss, no fuss. You get your nachos, hot dogs, and popcorn, candies, all that. And apparently they're making a movie. And I swear to God, dude, I don't know if they were working me or not. The people that were working there, when I was standing there, I got there way early because I wanted to walk around and look at it. It's like, are you guys recording a podcast right now? Because the conversation sounded like exactly like Kevin Smith written dialogue.
Well, let's get real. Isn't Kevin Smith one of the early sort of like builders of the whole podcast movement?
Yeah. Oh, hands down.
I think that he got kind of like overtaken by everyone else. But he was there at the beginning and sort of turned it into a job before anybody knew it could be a job.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is that it got away from him and he's not the king of podcasts now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like his is big. I feel like he had a whole entire network based on it. But you're right. He was it. But do you think he hired actors and like these are the lines you have to say for when patrons are standing around online for popcorn? They want to hear you debate like movies that you can cut out of franchises. Go. And the guy's like Godfather 3, and the other guy's like Rocky 5, and the guy's like you can't cut out Rocky 5, and I'm like you can't cut out Rocky 5, and I'm like we're in a Kevin Smith movie right now. What's happening?
Yeah.
Like are there cameras going?
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, that's sort of like that is his industry. I think he was one of the founders of this entire cottage industry of like fat nerdy guys talking about movies.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole business.
Yeah. And I had listened to one of his clips, and he was talking about how he had more people for a showing of Blues Brothers than he did for Flash.
Well, it's a way better movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It really holds up.
I'd rather see Blues Brothers than Flash any day.
Yeah. Oh, hands down. And then I walked in, and he had the new movie shown. Like, I think Dune was still going through its run. Kung Fu Panda came out that week. But I lean towards King Kong, the 1976 edition, with Rick Baker in the monkey suit, young Jeff Bridges looking like Tarzan. And I do not regret my decision.
What up, Mike? Museum of Now is here.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Thank God.
Yeah. But it was dude, do you remember much about King Kong, the 1976 edition?
I don't remember a lot about it. I can't tell you I can't tell you a lot about it. I remember that it existed. I remember enjoying it. I did like it. I remember thinking that I enjoyed it much more than the black and white Ray Harryhausen version.
That the OG one, right?
Because you'd hear like filmmakers be like, "Oh, the original's a classic, and it affected me so much." But I'm like, "This is boring. This is I can't watch this." But I thought it was good. It was kind of graphic, right? It had like his heart Did it show his heart a bunch of times?
Yeah.
He had heart surgery?
Yeah, I believe so. Wait, no, was that Mighty Joe Young?
No. Before Mighty Joe Young was that King. Was it? No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What was King Kong Lives?
Oh, okay. No, that was a different one.
Okay, King Kong Lives is the one that I remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a different one.
Okay.
So this one was actually trying to capitalize on Jaws. Like Jaws was the very first summer blockbuster in 1975. This came out in 76. It was introducing Jessica Lange. It had so she was the young hot girl, the Marilyn Monroe that they were trying to revive in there. Jeff Bridges, Charles Grodin playing a heel in there, dressed up like he was gonna go take people on a safari. Dude, I really, though it was enjoyable in a campy way, and I remember them making a big deal. I guess the one, as somebody who was born in New York, it kind of threw me off a little that the Twin Towers obviously are still in there. The World Trade Center, that was the buildings that they went with. But at the time, they were trying to separate it from the original, which was the Empire State Building. So they went with the Twin Towers there. But there was just something about that Rick Baker face. Like you can see his eyes through it. It just reminded me of the guy in the monkey suit in Kentucky Fried Movie.
Or in Trading Places.
Yes, exactly. Mike said Escape from Jersey. It was Escape from Jersey, man. There's some, I don't know if you've been there in a while. The coast is nice, but when you go inland, you better go way inland. That's all I'm saying. Go way inland. But what made it enjoyable is it was a Saturday afternoon matinee, because it was the only time I can escape and make it happen. So it was emptier. So I didn't get there. Yeah, there it is. The popcorn you've been eating has been pissed in. Film at 11. That's what it reminds me of. But there's me, and then there was a dad who was probably like my age, bringing in his daughter and her friends, and like the whole time he's hyping up this movie like they're about to see the best movie that ever. It was like, now you don't understand. Oh, wait till you see this. And he sat behind them, and he was doing like running commentary, which accidentally turned into Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
And I just, at that point, you just let him talk. I mean, it's just like there's just the four of us in this theater. Seen this movie many times, but hats off to Kevin Smith, because what he did keep was the experience, right? And that's why you and I go to the theater, and what a lot of people to go to the theater was to keep that cinema experience, that feel, like that excitement, like starts like right when you're in the parking lot and you're starting to walk into the theater.
Yeah,
you get that, and you got it really. He really did keep that. Yeah. But I swear I thought he was filming a movie. I thought he positioned these Girl Scout cookies, the little Girl Scouts selling cookies right out there, and I was waiting for the people working at the theater to start talking profanity in front of the Girl Scouts, and I'm like, I see it. I was like, this is a Kevin Smith scene right there. So, but yeah, it was a good time, man.
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
He is doing a film festival there, but I gotta say, if you thought Alamo South Lamar was going to be pretty intimate on Fantastic Fest, he does a film festival there, dude. You're not moving.
Sure. Like is it just one screen?
No, there's 4 screens in there, 4 or 5. 4 screens, yeah. So that was the other thing I was telling you. So I got there early because I wanted to look around, and some of the screens weren't even showing movies.
Do you have any swag?
No swag, which shocked me. Yeah. No swag. There was like a couple of bracelets because I was like, oh, I got to get you a shirt. But they had no swag.
Yeah.
So anyway, they show these movies here. I get there, and I'm like, I bought the tickets for 4 o'clock. They're like, oh, yeah, there's something wrong with the projector. So we changed it to 4:50. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, well, this says 4 o'clock. He's like, yeah, where'd you buy them? Well, I was like, well, I was going to buy them on your site, but I think I got them, Fandango or something. He's like, yeah, their time's wrong. It's at 4:50. He's like, you can just go walk around or something. I was like, so I go walking around. I found the very last theater, and it has nothing on the marquee, nothing going on. So I was like, oh, I want to see what the theater looks like. And I popped my head in, and just like out of the movie, dude, it was just like dude dressed in all black, long hair, smoking a cigarette in the back row with his feet up on the seat, and nothing on the screen, mind you. you're just looking at the red velvet curtain, and he's like, hey, and that was it.
Yeah. Is that just New Jersey? Is that just the New Jersey vibe?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is.
I mean, I can appreciate that vibe, but like, the thing is, it's difficult to wrangle people at the theater these days.
It is.
Know?
Yeah.
Like I was at New Beverly earlier this year, which New Beverly is like a religious experience, but like, only to a certain crowd. Like, we're talking about the whole cinematic experience, the film experience. But did you know that we're part of a thing called Generation X?
Yes.
And like apparently, it's Generation X is the last generation that is obsessed with the movie theater experience.
Yeah.
People just aren't anymore. And I saw this article in some theater. We've got the micro cinema upstairs from the right now the screening room upstairs.
Yep.
Apparently, a lot of folks are doing that now. Not only that, but building tiny video stores in their spare rooms where they're accumulating their physical media and just having it laid out like that.
Wow, a Blockbuster bunker.
Blockbuster bunker, yeah. It's a thing. But yeah, it's tough to wrangle the people now because it's just no one cares about a movie anymore.
No.
It's not a deal, and this will come up more. Like we talk about other topics we're talking about later about the cinema wasteland, but like I was in I went to Alamo last night, and Alamo's like strict, right?
Yes, very strict.
They run the threatening ads. If you harass them, they will post you on they will post your audio online, whatever. They'll do whatever to they'll fight back. And there was a couple that was talking really loud, and I saw the drama start to play out. I saw people were posting, because you write it on the little notepad and post it.
Oh, they got ratted out.
Yeah, they got ratted out. Wow. And I could tell because, the guys are, the runners, they work hard, whatever. They're bringing you all your food. And then they get that note and you can just tell them just like, shit. Because they're going to have to, they're about to have a confrontation,
Yeah.
And I saw this guy just building up sort of like the confidence to go ahead and like, go talk to these people and tell them to shut up.
Oh man, that's hard.
And I heard him. And he was like watching from the aisle, and I was just like waiting for them to just do it again. And finally, it was just like, okay, this is undeniable. They're super loud, And obviously, I looked back there. It was like some folks were intoxicated. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get drunk and you think it's a good idea to go to the movies. It's not.
It never is.
It's not.
It never is.
But like, I hear him go up there, and he's like, just a friendly reminder that there's no talking and blah 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 in the movie, and you're pretty nice about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. But then I guess the folks were humiliated by that.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just saw first like the guy got up and left, and he scooped up his backpack and was just out of there. And then his date scooped up her stuff and was stumbling out. They're both obviously hammered.
Wow.
But that's just you go to.
So they didn't take it out on him. They
were pretty. No, they didn't. They didn't fight back. It didn't turn into a scene. You know what I mean? But you see online. There was a screening of Garfield not too long ago where people were just fist fighting in the aisles because they wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So you're literally. Going to the theater these days, you're risking an altercation.
Right.
I
think the days of it being a communal experience, I think it's still there in spurts, but not like, like when we went to the drive-in jamboree, that was a communal experience. But for the most part, on an average, Friday night, it might be going to Waffle House and you might be throwing hands.
Yeah.
And people just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
like,
now every theater serves alcohol now.
Yeah.
So it just enhances that whole thing. I really I would like to check out Smod Castle. That sounds cool. But
yeah, it was a good time.
I love the idea of these sort of like reduced capacity theaters where it's like, well, we don't need chicken strips and pizzas and all that stuff. You know what I mean? We really just need box candy, popcorn, and soda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to have a full bar at the theater. Just not necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could just, there was a time when we would just get loaded in our car and then we'd go into the movie. It's not a huge deal.
Right.
It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, I mean, because even like I took you to that Cinemark near us, and you're like, that's a slushy with Jim Beam, like a Jim Beam slushy.
Yeah.
It's like
here's your 44-ounce Jim Beam slushy.
It's like that's never gonna.
How is there not gonna be a fight? Chuckles is here. What up, Chuckles?
Why do I have an eye patch?
Chuckles, where are you watching? Are you watching on YouTube?
Is that you? Oh no, he's actually right here in the window. I see him right here.
Yeah.
What's up, Meg? Yeah, it does look like I have an eye patch. I did not. Even though Mike said it was the Escape from Jersey, I did not lose an eye in there. I may have lost some things, but not an eye was not one of them. Maybe some pride, some taste I lost, but not an eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been but I'm looking forward to getting back in the groove here. We went to a Video Vortex on Monday. That was cool.
That was your first video. I've been
That
wanting.
was my first ever video.
To go. I think it's a good show.
Yeah, it's a great show. I mean, it's the same Bleeding Skull dudes, and I forgot his partner Joe, and I forgot his partner's name. That they cut them together. But they also do Terror Tuesday. But it was cool, man. It reminds me of, I never got a chance to go to the OG original Alamo. Right, it was on Colorado, right? The first one when they would just.
Yeah, that was a completely different vibe.
Yeah, but that was an attempt at it, right? Like you're like Wednesday nights we show only clips from videos that you would see in your defensive driving class.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
I think the programming is definitely the same. The thing about that original Alamo Drafthouse Weird Wednesday whatever type of stuff was the shows were like $1, I think, and this was before Alamo had their sort of like corporatized menu, and you could get the buckets of beer. They used to have a combo where you got a bucket of beer and a never-ending popcorn for a very reasonable price. High Times magazine was always had a booth set up in the lobby or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then High Times magazine was happening in the theater as well.
Really?
Yeah, like that was all good. It was just all good.
And this was the 90s too. I mean, this was
this was the 2000s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
it was in the aughts. Yeah,
I think because Alamo Drafthouse launched in like '99.
Oh wow!
But yeah, no, I mean, like it was all good. People were partaking in the theater, and it was all good. That was part of the appeal,
experience.
Part of the thing.
Yeah, and now they're corporatized, and they struggled during the pandy. But dude, did you read? They're struggling again.
All theaters are struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were just talking about even though they do well.
It's up for sale right now.
Yeah, right. They're looking for buyers.
Yep. Should we bid on it?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, why not, right? Maybe we could start a writing campaign.
I mean, let's face it. It's the best theater chain in the country.
Yeah, hands down.
And they're struggling.
Yeah.
So are movies in trouble?
Well, I think movies are in trouble, man. I mean, well, they're in trouble in the sense of as being as readily available everywhere. I know here, GameStop maneuver. There we go. I think like here it spoils you because I feel like the theater experience is still hanging tough here, but it was way more evident in Jersey. Like that one theater, I can't even think of the closest theater beyond that theater. And I mean, it was a college town, man. People can just walk. It was a very low commitment. You're right next to a bunch of kids just living in a dorm. Like they can't be partying every night, right? There's gonna be some nights that they're just gonna stumble over and watch something.
I don't know why.
They didn't. No, you're right. They just didn't.
It's like, it's tough. I just think that we're in a very weird spot where younger folks they're not going to care about a movie unless it's broken up into, 50, 30-second segments.
Yeah, my brain hasn't wrapped around that, but you're right.
I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into this. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a time. Do you remember a time when like a movie was out and people would like talk about it and be like, "Have you seen it?"
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, you got to see it. And this would go on. This would go on for weeks.
Yeah.
Right. This would go on for a long time. Now it's like a movie comes out, and it's like the first weekend. If you don't see it, it's just gone from the public eye completely.
Fast.
If you don't see it that first weekend, it's gone.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
They just they just pull it. And like Meg was saying, and you were saying that earlier too, that everyone built those home theaters during the pandy. Do you think there's the group of people that saying we'll just wait for it to come out on streaming? It's going to be out next month because that window is closed since the pandy.
Yeah.
Like, do you just wait for it? It's just like, oh, screw it. It'll be on Peacock in a month.
In like 21 days, bro.
Yeah.
It does not even take that long.
That's wild.
The Fall Guy was on digital in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it is already in on digital, right?
Yeah.
I mean, then that launched the summer movie season, right? That was the first week of May.
Yes, yeah, if you can call it that.
And now it's already streaming.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Speaking of Fall Guy, you saw Fall Guy?
You did.
What your thoughts on Fall Guy?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was. Well, you made a movie.
You got it done.
You got it done. I didn't. I mean, I can't say I disliked it, but I couldn't probably name anything about it. Right? I mean, I like Emily Blunt. And I like Ryan Gosling. I mean, they really did help it, but I don't know, man. There was something a little off.
I thought, and I've told you this in a text, but I'll just say it here now that we're on a public forum. I really feel this movie was written by an AI chatbot.
There it is, and we knew it was going to happen eventually.
I mean, there's no way this was not written by an AI chatbot. This movie tries to be everything to everybody.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The thing about the AI chatbots is they don't really get comedy.
No,
they can do a lot, but comedy they can't do. And the jokes felt like they were written by, it's like Data from Star Trek wrote the jokes on here.
Or when the T-1000 was trying to do the smile, it's like that was funny.
Yeah, it's like doing that kind of thing. And it's like it's a romantic comedy. It's an action. It's a thriller. It's a mystery. It's everything. We've got the lady from Ted Lasso. We've got Emily Blunt. We've got all this stuff going on.
Yeah, there was a lot.
And we've got all these crazy stuff. We got a cool dog doing all this stuff. We've got so much going on. You've got so much going on in this movie that it just all cancels itself out. And it's not funny. Did you laugh at this movie?
No, I didn't get any of the comedy stuff.
Ryan Gosling comes off as the least charming person ever.
But we know he's done it. He can be
under the hands of like a good director, a good script. Literally, in the Barbie movie, the movie about Barbie, he was the main attraction.
He stole the show.
Yeah, you know that he's got charisma. This is a movie, completely built around him to be the lead, to be charming, to be a romantic lead, to be an action lead, and none of it worked for me.
Mm-mm.
No. It was like, this is what I call movie-style content.
What is movie style content?
Movie style content created by an AI.
Dude, we talked about AI here in the past, and we always suspected the way it was going to roll out is they were going to just try to sneak them into movies.
It's happened.
And I think you're right. I think it just happened.
It's absolutely happened. There's no way AI chatbots are not writing every movie, or at least a good percentage of the movies that are out there right now.
So post-strike, the writers lost the strike.
They won, but they lost.
They won, but they lost. Yeah. But like, you're soaking in it. Like, what? I had no idea that this was it. Tony Khan booked that movie.
Absolutely. It was 50-50 booking all the way. It was just like so... I don't know. It was like, it was like your boyfriend you bring home for Thanksgiving that is trying to make everybody laugh.
And it wasn't funny.
You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, dude. Not your boy, but like your niece's boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you bring home some kind of SO. Man, now I can't get Tony Khan directing that movie out of my head. Did you see him roll down the stage after the fire extinguisher spot?
Oh man, I can't watch it anymore. It makes me sad.
Yeah, but that's what that role was, the stunt role. You know what really bothered me probably the most about Fall Guy is I really wanted Lee Majors to get a little bit more of a nod. Yeah, that was a really, really, really small one. And it kind of took you back kind of took you at it. I guess because how Heather Thomas was very jarring to look at too. I was like, okay, never mind, don't do it.
None of that made sense to me.
No, none of it did.
It didn't. Again, this is what an AI would do: is add a cameo by the original Fall Guy in the fucking third act. Sorry for cussing, my bad.
Oh.
No, I want Lee Majors in the first act.
Yeah, was it even the third act? Because wasn't it the post-credit scene or mid-credit?
Was it the post-credit scene?
Yeah, it was mid-credit.
Either way.
Yeah.
You put Lee Majors in Act 1. That's what a human being would do.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's what I think they should have done.
You know? But an AI would say you include it as a post-credit scene because post-credit scenes is what people are into these days.
Right. I don't know. Maybe this should have came back out with... maybe Mick G should have did this in 2000. Maybe it would have been a little bit different.
The thing is, you could just make a movie about a Hollywood stuntman who solves a crime. You could just do that.
Yeah.
You could just write that and make it an original film and just be like, this is kind of a good idea, right? Because he's a stunt guy, so he does all these crazy stunts. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But no, you have to connect it to an IP, which then buries the creative.
Yeah. No, then you're done. I totally agree. You originally, it wasn't even, you didn't even do it with Bouncer / Roadhouse. You did it back with RoboCop, which we even forget that one happened. It's like, why didn't they just call him Drone Man? And it's just like, it might have been a little bit better.
It's not a horrible movie, but everybody hates the fact that it's called RoboCop.
Yeah. And I don't get it. And then you also had some heat with, well, not that you had some heat, but you also suspect that AI might have had their hand in Kingdom of the Planets of the Apes as well.
I think so.
Right?
I think so. I mean, you can't... I just feel like that movie, another one, it just feels like...
Oh, you got
it's trying to include... It's trying to include every possible vertical in that movie.
Drone Man, that's it. It was.
Look, I watched the original, not the original trilogy. I watched the Matt Reeves trilogy before going to see that one.
Okay.
I watched them all.
Rise, Dawn, and War.
And I was just like, man, they're dark, bro.
Yeah, very dark.
They're dark, and it's all about, the decimation of mankind and the ape society, evolving, and it's war, and it's harsh, and there's viruses, and it's blood.
Yeah.
When I watched this, it's like it just felt like it was Disney-fied. It's just like the first scene, the apes hunting for eagle eggs. What?
Yeah. Birdmaster.
Yeah.
It felt like a side quest.
A deadly virus decimated mankind. Cut to hunting for eggs. What?
Did you know that they what's going to make the Birdman even a little bit more off-putting is they have 9 of these planned, and that was technically 4.
Well, this felt... Well, here's the thing. These people... This AI chatbot thinks it has 9 planned, but really it has 3, which it's chopping up each into 3 pieces. Because this felt like the first act of a movie.
It did, yeah, 100%. Yeah, this would have been the character development before the actual stuff came up.
Yes, and then you realize this. You had the main ape, what is it, Proximus Caesar or whatever?
Yes.
Which is, again, a super AI chatbot name for a character. Remember Caesar? This is Proximus Caesar. As close to Caesar as we can get.
Right. Close proximities.
And his main thing is in the trailers and all that, it's like, oh, what a wonderful day.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They just did that in Mad Max 9 years ago.
Yes.
That was the hook in that trailer.
Right.
That's what an AI chatbot would do.
And it's just and birds. And
then they're training eagles. Come on, man. I said this some Harry Potter ass shit. You're telling me they're training eagles now?
Approximate Caesar.
Exactly. Approximate Caesar. It's like we got to include something for the other folks to get into this. It's like war and disease is not cool anymore because I understand we're in the middle of war and we had a huge disease epidemic not too long ago. So maybe that's not so cool, but it's just apes training eagles and You know what I mean?
Right.
Wearing like braids and stuff. It's just like, it's silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Disneyfied is probably the best way to put it. Yeah. Which, again, that was original Planet of the Apes. That was Rod Serling, man. That was dark. And then based on that book, way darker.
Now, can you imagine a movie? And that's the thing. It's like, are studios or whoever's doing this afraid to run out of ideas, or what's going on? Because, like, you could let's imagine you take, what is it called? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Which makes no sense at all. What is that even title? Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Anyway, but like, imagine you take that it's a 2.5 hour movie, and you machete cut that, compress all of that into like 45 minutes, right? And you've got a killer first act of a movie.
Yeah.
If the ending of Act 1 is like, oh, sidebar, humans are still around, they got underground base, you're like, whoa, I'm in. Yes. Show me the rest of the movie. What else is going to happen? But instead, it Netflixes it, or just stretches it into 2.5 hours, just to introduce the premise of the whole movie.
Yeah, of the birds.
Yeah.
Well, like Charlie's saying here, right? The goal of never letting franchises die. I think they somehow think stretching it, like quantity, is somehow gonna give it quality just because it exists.
No.
And it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm a mark for monkeys, so I did like to see Talking Monkeys, but I mean, I liked it better than Fall Guy. But yeah, I see the gripes. I see them. I see the notes. I feel the notes. What about one I have not seen yet because I was on the road? What about Furiosa? What happened there?
I mean, Furiosa is a great movie. Yeah. I have no heat with Furiosa at all. I think there are factors that led to it being a flop, but I don't think it has to do with the quality of the movie, although I think the quality of the movie has issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Which was really surprising. I did not expect that. I wouldn't have pegged this as the movie that wasn't going to work. Not that really any movie's currently working at all, right? But I would have thought this one could have at least got it out of a slump.
Well, I thought about this when I went to see it the second time, and I was thinking, it's like, why are people not into this? And I realized a couple things that I think maybe movie studios or whoever's in charge of this stuff now didn't take into account, or maybe they just didn't realize this would be a factor. Because like, making a movie's a gamble.
Yeah.
You never know if people are going to like it.
Nope.
No matter what you do. And the more you try to make it so people like it, the more it will suck.
Right. It does seem.
So here's the thing.
Just
Furiosa,
meddling.
a few things I thought about Furiosa. One thing was, I was like, this is a sequel, a prequel to a movie that came out 9 years ago. That's the factor.
Has it already been 9 years?
9 years. It's a prequel to a movie that came out 9 years ago, which in turn was a reboot of a series that came out 30 years before that.
Right.
Okay? So this is like as old as people's grandparents. And it's just like, okay, that's not an instant. That's not like, oh, we're making another Super Mario Brothers. It's just like there's a long thread there. And then I realized, I was like, Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress.
Yeah, she is fantastic. I love her.
But when you're doing this, you're spinning off of the last movie, which was, let's face it, it was a surprise hit. I think the studio was just like, we don't know why people like this, but please do it again.
Yeah.
It's just like, we thought this was going to be a colossal failure, and it won 5 Oscars instead.
Yeah.
Right? And they're just like, just do it again. We don't know what to tell you to do. Just do it again. And then, so, George Miller was like, well, I'm going to recast it, whatever, just because, I don't want to have to de-age or do anything like that. Right. Just recast it. But I think when you do that, without knowing it, you've created audience confusion.
Yep.
Okay? And like, number one, it's like you've removed Charlize, which people know Charlize, and she was in the last one.
Right.
And people liked the last one.
They did. Yep.
You know what I mean? So you've already removed what people liked about the last one and said, instead of that, it's this instead, right? You're with us? But we're not, because we don't know. I'm not paying attention. I don't care that, what your intentions were. I think it might have been a better bet just to bring back Charlize. Maybe not even DeAsia. Just put a hat on her or something. Just put her in some younger clothes. I don't know. Just let her just be in it. Because when you see the movie, I mean, no, this is not a spoiler because it's a prequel. It leads right into Fury Road at the end, and it's just like, well, if you're gonna do
that close,
if you're gonna do
really,
well, I mean, it's the Furiosa story.
Okay,
you know what I mean? And then as it was, you had Fury Road, which was Mad Max Fury Road, which was not even really about Mad Max. It was about Furiosa. Right?
Yep.
And then you've got Furiosa, and you've taken Furiosa out of the movie completely, and you're still calling it a Mad Max saga, but there's absolutely no Mad Max at all this time. That creates audience confusion.
Yeah.
And I think on top of that, you add this just other layer that I hate to just even include, but it's just a factor. It's just people are just like, oh, this movie's woke because it's a woman is the main hero now.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know what I mean? And people just didn't get it. Now, mind you, this movie has other stuff that's wrong with it, but it's not that bad. But like, this is more violent. This is darker than Fury Road. This expands upon Fury Road in a way where it's just like, I feel like it's questionable. Some of the script decisions are questionable, it's just, there's other things that are wrong with it, but those things don't really affect people not showing up because people just didn't show up at all.
No.
And when I say this movie's dark, I'm telling you, I saw multiple walkouts.
Yeah, that's crazy when you see
people were walking out because some of the things were just legit gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know. I think that like I said, I think the movie itself has issues that you can debate. I don't think you can, but I think the reason people didn't show up because the entire package was just not well thought out.
Are people showing up for anything? Like we're going to talk about that. I just feel like everything's in struggling. What have been the wins this year? Like we already say, like the summer's already in trouble.
Well, Dune did good.
But
Dune is new.
Yep.
Nobody ever seen a successful version of Dune.
No.
Apes did good, I guess. People still like the Apes.
People did, well, because it was Disney-fied, so you can get in there. But, like, I don't know, man. This is like May's already done. First weekend of May already kicks it off, and I can tell you that if you're looking at the domestic box office for 2024, it doesn't start. May movies don't start till number 4. Like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes sits behind Kung Fu Panda 4, Dune Part 2, and Godzilla X Kong, which I guess you would consider kind of somewhat of a hit. I think it did better internationally. It made $500 million.
$500 million is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the last time that May has struggled like this.
Don't know, but it's just people are just you need to do more now, and this is all the fault of the folks who make the movies. It's not our fault.
The
folks
definitely not our fault. We show up no matter what.
Well, I mean, the folks who make the films, the studios, have curated sort of an entire sort of like landscape where only the first weekend matters.
Yeah.
Remember, movies used to play for like a year.
Yeah.
And they would make money for like a long time. And now it's just like, oh, it plays for 3 weeks and we just give up. It's it.
It's gone.
We're toss it. Gone. Yeah. Done. We're not even going to make a DVD of it.
We've had that happen.
It's only available on 8-track.
Have you ever had it like it's like you get a busy weekend and one of the movies kind of slips through the cracks, and then by the time you get along to see it, it's like if you're lucky, it's like, oh, it only has one showing, at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, why not have some... Do you have some faith in your product? Like, I really think you could just... Okay, the movie tanks. It doesn't do well the first couple weekends. Is really the best bet to just push it right to digital? Okay, if nobody went to see it, Are folks going to be dying to go pay $20 to rent it? I don't think so.
No.
Why not continue to market it? Why not send Ryan Gosling somewhere to do an interview or do a stunt or get people interested in the movie you're trying to sell?
Yeah.
Do something like that and let the movie ride for a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really good point you're bringing up, because we did that spot a while back of that, how studios are killing renting movies, right? Nobody wants to rent movies, but they have those PVODs, right? Those premium video on demands. Those actually cost more than a movie ticket.
Right.
Now, granted, they're probably counting on, okay, this is going to be for the person that's got, a bigger group of people, a bigger family, whatever. 4 people are going to sit and watch this 5, so we got to charge you $25.
Yeah.
Instead of like if you went to the theater at like a matinee and you can spend what, $10-12.
Yeah.
If you went on a matinee, but it doesn't pay for somebody that at that point it's like a pay-per-view at a bar. You're better off like, hey, you guys want to come over and have a Fall Guy party, because I'm not going to pay $25 for this to sit by myself and watch it. I
think there's also sort of a factor that once it hits digital in any capacity, it's bootlegged.
Yeah,
and then
that's it.
You lose all that, so you've got to. I think $20 is absurd for a rental. During the pandemic, I got it. Okay, Roger, cool, I get it. But nowadays, it's just like, if you, maybe your best bet is to let it run in the theater for a while, and let the price get down. Then people will rent it. I don't know a lot of people that take that $20 bite.
No, because it used to be, especially us, maybe Gen X is the last one that did that. We expected if you wait long enough, you were going to see it at the dollar theater.
Yeah.
Before you saw it at home.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, I can still see it in the movies. I'm just going to pay $1.
You had multiple venues to see it at the theater. Yeah, the dollar theater. I don't even know. Do people know about dollar theater? Try to explain dollar theater to the what generation is going on now?
Sorry, I don't even know.
What's the difference? It's like a regular movie theater, but everyththing's $1.
Exactly.
Like a dollar store for movies.
Yeah, it's Five Below for movies.
Yeah, it's not as clean. The carpet's kind of run down. And
popcorn's a little more stale.
There was always just some sort of you could tell there's a drop in quality.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. And now, like I said, it's going to be June, right? This Saturday is going to be June. What's going to save the box office in June? If you're talking about big IP drops.
What's coming out in June?
The only ones that are considered big IP drops are Bad Boys, Ride or Die, and A Quiet Place Day One. Now, those are going to be the IPs, so that's what's, because there's some great movies that are coming out, in the theaters, like, a Violent Nature, stuff that is going to be really cool to see in theaters. But if we're talking about saving the box office, it's going to have to come from a big IP.
I'm curious if folks are going to see Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, I don't know either, right?
Chuckles. Does it have a claw machine in the lobby? Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, Anthony, they went away. It was a sad day when they went away.
Yep.
It was a sad day, but yeah, you would need a claw machine. But I don't know, man. Have people forgiven, or is Will Smith still canceled or whatever?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah. This
is gonna be the determining factor. Now, me personally, I will not be at Bad Boys.
You're not going to see it.
I'm not a fan of the Bad Boys franchise. I know Bad Boys 2 is an action classic for a lot of folks, but not really my tempo. Never really got into it. So I won't be at Bad Boys 4. I just don't. That's not one I'm going to watch. I didn't see Bad Boys 3.
Well, Bad Boy 3 has something that really is kind of bothersome. It has the infamous privilege of being the #1 grossing movie of the year 2020,
which makes it even more fishy. It's like, well, how is the next one going to top that?
Right. We're not. Hopefully, we don't have another Pandy planned. That was the only reason that happened, right? Because it dropped in like January.
Yeah.
Which is just, it wasn't. So I don't know what made this a summer blockbuster all of a sudden.
Yes.
I guess the original ones were summer ones, but that third one, it was a January drop.
Yeah.
And could be like a Wasteland time.
I feel like also this is a 30-year-old franchise at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
30
90,
years.
yeah.
And we're living in a world right now, a time where I don't know that folks want to see a movie about cops who play by their own rules and deal out their own brand of justice.
Yeah, they don't. That doesn't work anymore.
I don't feel like that's a genre people are into.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
No, that is definitely not a thing. So are we? I mean, are we at this point where we're just literally going to be limping along to the end of July and Deadpool?
Well, I think July will be strong.
So, yeah. Well, because you got Minions.
I think Minions, the other Disney one, which you mentioned.
Inside Out too.
Folks are gonna love that. Folks are into Minions is unbelievably popular.
Yeah.
And folks will be into Inside Out too. I think a lot of people love that movie, and I think Deadpool is going to be the movie of the summer. That's this year's Barbie.
Yeah.
But because I think like folks who are running the movie studios really don't pay attention to what's going on at all. Like they learn nothing.
No.
From anything they do.
No, they do not.
And it's just like the reason you had this sort of like chemistry experiment that happened last year where you had Barbie and Oppenheimer, where it's like two movies that were at completely opposite ends of the spectrum content-wise, right? Were both something original in their way. But we'd never seen a Barbie movie, right?
Right.
No one ever seen a movie about this doll with only 4 points of articulation that never spoke, right? That most people only knew as a marked up thing that you found laying on the floor. And it's like that's interesting. What are you going to do with Barbie? And then you had Oppenheimer, where it's just like, okay, I mean, Nolan's like already sort of like his own brand, you know. He's an established director where it's like when he's making a movie, it's a big deal. But now you got Nolan making a movie about the thing that could eventually kill us all.
Right.
Right? And then you have those two things coming together on the same day. It just created this event, right? And that blew up, and that made it all the better. The only thing that's even close to that is Deadpool, because now you've got Deadpool 3, Deadpool as a MCU movie. I feel like most people know what that means if you're paying attention to that stuff. And now you're bringing back Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine, and you're finally putting him in the yellow suit. You've created an event.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Even though I feel like it's going to be strong for Marvel, it's strong for Marvel, and it's going to be a hit for Marvel. It's also going to be like Marvel kicking itself in the nuts to entertain.
I think you're right, and even and they're rolling the dice because it's going to be rated R. So it's not going to be. It's going to limit its box office by being rated R.
Yeah,
what it could do, but I think it's going to be enough of cultural clout that I think people are going to say, "Is Marvel back?" But is Marvel going to be back after that? We'll save that for a future spot because we don't know if that means Marvel's back. It just means Deadpool's back.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I actually think this is the death of Marvel. This is the death nail of Marvel.
Well, yeah. And
Marvel films, as they stand, not saying they couldn't be back and they couldn't reinvent themselves. I'm just saying the Marvel films we know, this is the last movie.
Well, and you were telling me this before, explain that theory of why that is.
Because, like, when you see, like, there's, like, these... Like when you have like a genre, there's always just like a genre where it's just like it gets good and it's popular, blah blah blah, and then it gets sort of like played out, and the people in that genre say, well, now I'm going to sort of like make light of this genre. I'm going to be like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm going to like not decimate. I forget the word, but I'm going to use this genre that's been popular and cut into it and like make fun of it, dissect it, point out the flaws, right? And then that becomes the genre. And that's kind of where we are now. But like, Deadpool is like the like we're not going to have a series of those because we don't have Zucker Brothers doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have those parody movies anymore. So now Deadpool steps into that spot. Deadpool is going to just completely annihilate everything and take down everything that made these movies popular for a joke, for entertainment.
Right.
Okay? and we're all going to laugh, and we're all going to have a great time. We're all going to see it twice. I think it's going to be a huge hit. But after that, is Marvel's going to expect us to come back and take it seriously? And now say, oh yeah, okay, that was it. We're just let's now do it for real. But it's going to be the same thing that they just made fun of. You
can't do the same thing. I 100% agree.
So I think that this is the end of Marvel movies as we know them.
Yeah, Mike said, the genre collapses under its own weight.
Exactly.
There's a good, and after you told me that, I really started thinking about that. It was kind of like you couldn't make the same type of horror movie you did before Scream that you did after Scream.
Right.
It just changed it. Like after that, it's kind of like the magician show on Fox when they show you all the tricks. The reason they were showing you all the old tricks is because there was a bunch of new magicians and new tricks coming down the road, right? That was, the Masked Magician, wasn't he before David Blaine and Chris Angel? So he just showed you all the old tricks, so then they had to do the new tricks.
Right.
I think you're right. I think that's what's going to happen. Marvel's going to need new tricks. What are these movies going to look like afterwards? And maybe Feige doesn't care because, like you said, is when's his 2025? When's his contract up?
I don't know.
I think we did a spot about that. Is he going to retire around then? So I think after this multiverse finale, does he call it a day too? Is that his finale as well? Go out on a high-ish note after he took some lumps at the end, but
I don't know. I don't know. I think that whatever. Feige's fine, whatever. But to say that someone else couldn't do it just as well, I think is nuts.
Yeah.
He's not the only person in the world who ever read comic books and went into making movies.
Right.
So I think that he developed a good look, a vibe, a feeling that got over for a long time.
He's like a good coach.
Yeah.
He created a good system that worked, and then you start getting other players, and you can get another coach that'll create a different system that might just work just as well.
But right now, it's run its course. I think that the Feige era is over. I think it should be over. I think he should move on to greener pastures, go do whatever he's going to do, or just go chill on the beach for a few years.
Yeah, go find the guy from MySpace.
Yeah. And
just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with everything.
But after Deadpool, whatever comes next is going to have to live in that space of, we just made fun of all this, and it was the biggest movie ever, and now you expect us to take it seriously? How? What are you going to give us that makes me take this serious again?
Yeah. No, you're right. Well, Charlie, Disney needs to get the rights to 28 Days Later and re-release. Didn't they just announce that 28 Years Later is coming out?
28 Years Later is happening right now.
It is happening. I don't know if it's Disney, but it is happening.
Probably.
And they got Cillian Murphy. He's coming back. 28 Years Later is coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
You want to take a quick break? I need some more water. I still got road throat. Is that a thing? Road throat.
Road throat.
I got road throat.
Okay. if I put on we're gonna get kicked off of whatever right now, but who cares?
All right, see you on Instagram. Jump over to YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube, Instagram. Hop over.
Yep.
I bet you think my favorite bubbly is champagne. Well, surprise. What I really love is Sun Country Wine Cooler. It's a truly marvelous blend of real fruit juice and premium wine. As a matter of fact, it's the best tasting cooler I've ever had. So when they asked me to talk about Sun Country, naturally I accepted. Sun Country, say, gimme the real juice cooler. They told me I'd be working in fur, but this is ridiculous.
Wang announces the most important step in managing information since the computer, WangNet. WangNet is the electronic connection that gives anyone in your office any kind of information they need instantly by linking together every conceivable kind of office equipment, no matter who makes it. WangNet links you to floors below or satellites above, using just half its capacity, leaving room, of course, for Wang's next breakthrough in office automation.
I am here to make a pitch for Sun Country Peach. Why me? Because I'm crazy about the taste of peach. And Sun Country Wine Cooler is the most refreshing blend of premium wine and real peach juice I ever pitched. It has such a great taste. It's how you say it? Peachy, peachy. Sun Country. Say, give me the real juice cooler. You know, I don't mind doing cuchi in a bear suit, but it's so itchy. Caramba, me está matando tantas hormigas dentro de los pantalones.
Let's buy our small computer from the giant computer company. You can't beat Goliath.
No.
Right, David?
Sir, let's go with Wang. Nobody makes a better small computer or word processor. They're giant killers.
It happened before. It can happen again, because nobody's hungrier than Wang.
He's right.
I used to be frightened by all the wine coolers I saw. I was scared I wouldn't pick the right one. Luckily, I did. It was the most refreshing one of them all. Sun Country Wine Cooler. You see, Sun Country is a blend of premium white wine and real fruit juice. That's what gives it its great taste. Sun Country, say, give me the real juice cooler. If you don't say Sun Country, you'd better sleep with your lights on.
All over the world, Wang is the leader in office technology. Word processing, data processing, and now with our new electronic mail system, you can send all kinds of information from one part of the world to another. So New York can be around the corner from Paris, London from Tokyo, and San Francisco next to Rome. Wang, making the world more productive by bringing it closer together.
This is the tale of the Sun Country Kid. Rode into town on a horse he called Sid. But Sun Country wine coolers, for one and all, said, drinks are on me, go on, have a ball. Sun Country's made from juice that's all real and premium wine for refreshing appeal. One sip and you'll know my story is true, because when has this bear ever lied to you? Sun Country, say give me the real juice cooler. So ask for Sun Country, it's fun, never stuffy, and you can take that from a bear named Duffy.
All right, we are back.
Jeez.
This spot should also be sponsored by Chloroseptic. When you catch some shit on the road, spray this on your throat. That's a commercial right there. Boom.
Totally.
Send us money.
Chloroseptic, please sponsor us.
Oh man. So we're talking about films, and we're a little bit worried about the summer films, but I don't think we're too worried about summer television. Tough summer streaming, if you will.
Yeah, no.
We got the big one that Mike shared with us today that we're really excited about, and I happened to just finally finish last week, limping along with those Hulu worth commercials. But The Bear, The Bear is amazing television. Remember, the switch happened right around Lost, when actors are like, no, not doing TV is not like a death toll like it used to be. You can get just as big and get just as good of content on TV and streaming. And I think The Bear is perfect example of that.
Let's get your Bear review. Give me the log line review. You don't have to go in depth.
Oh man. The Bear, the log line review. The Bear will make you care with the tactic of scare. I don't know.
That's pretty good.
It's very it has a frantic energy, but a good energy. Like, I guess because it's got a lot of heart, and it has a lot of like real family drama, and seeing the kitchen, like if you're watching some of those kitchen episodes, it could give you a stroke, because it's really stressful, but it's coming from, they all do have heart.
That episode where they leave the online orders on.
Oh yeah, that was it, man.
Like, that was one of the most stressful. And they get more stressful from there. But
yeah, that was like that moment, like when you just put your head and you just totally submit to the universe of whatever is going to happen. Yeah. That was that episode, and then they had one here too. I mean, the family dinner episode. I mean, if you have family, you've had these types of dinner. Right? Like, you've had those moments that you're like, oh my God, I just need to get out of here. But there's just something about that show that just everything about it, like Mike was saying, it's like a small show. Like the star from The Thing and Fantastic Four. I mean, Richie is excellent. I don't know how to say his name. It's a three-word name, but it's
Ebon Bacharach something.
Yeah.
Something. Craig Ebon Bacharach.
He's so good. I mean, I'm walking around calling everybody cousin because of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's when you know something works. You just can't. I can't get that show out of my head.
None of them are cousins. I love that. See, that's the type of stuff. That's just good writing.
Exactly.
They call each other cousin.
And none of them are cousins.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for season 3. That's going to be dropping really soon. I do like these seasons are very encapsulated. Like now I feel like we're about to be in act 3 of a film that we've been watching since the beginning.
Yeah.
Act 1 was all about, the beef, the restaurant, and act 2 was like the destruction of the beef and the construction of the bear.
Yeah.
And now it feels like this one's going to be all about everything that they learned in 2 with the bear. Now they're going to be...
Well, because they never... We didn't even get to the launch in season 2. You think we did because it got so tense, but you're just like, oh, that was just friends and family.
Yeah, that was just
night.
a small one. That was just a preview night. So
they have not even opened yet. So, yeah, I agree. I haven't been engaged this much by a show in as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the trailers for this, and I was just like, I don't want to see a show about beautiful chefs. You know what I mean? That doesn't appeal to me. But you realize it's just about it's just about so much more, just like wanting to build something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being like the thing about it's funny because it's like you think about the main Carmi, the main character is like a genius, and you think of a chef as being a creative genius, right?
Right, an artist, yeah.
And you think of him as an artist, and essentially though, if you look at it, he's the most boring character on the show. You know what I mean? He never has anything interesting to say. He never makes a joke ever on the show.
No.
Nothing.
No.
And he even says it. He says it in the when he finally meets the woman he's dating or whatever. Or no, I think whatever. And you realize how boring this guy is. You know what I mean? And she's ultra charming and loves this guy. But anyway, yeah, and every character around him is just so great and has such depth and nuance. Everybody's got motivation.
Yeah.
It's just really good.
It reminds me of watching, because the world is pro wrestling, so we got to compare it to pro wrestling. It reminds me of watching the best tacticians you've ever seen in the ring that have no wasted movements.
Yeah.
There's no wasted movements in the show. Everything means something.
Yeah, and there's like subtle genius things that you don't okay, so the episode about the episode where they leave the online orders on, right?
Yeah.
And there's all that chaos. Did you notice that was a oneer?
No.
The episode is a oneer, yeah.
Oh, I have to go back and see it now.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch it.
No, I didn't even notice, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Just and I'm sure that adds to that frantic energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Von Erichs, I mean I think that's won it over too because he was already in my psyche, playing Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah.
And then Carmi was in there. There's just something about him. He's pretty magnetic without trying. It's even the little things like you can tell either he's a really good actor or he really smokes. Because it's the way he handles his cigarettes that come off as so genuine.
Yeah.
Right? Even just the way he's just got so much nervous energy, he's got to go grab a cigarette, and there's just the way he flicks it around, and it's just...
Yeah, I think actors smoke. I think the acting demographic is keeping the cigarette industry alive.
It's keeping it going.
They're the last bastion of, completely, unrelenting, unashamed, unabashed smokers.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, because you feel that. It's everything about this just works really well. I mean, Berthenol was the perfect choice of the looming ghost over the show
Give
of Mikey.
Give Barenthal the Emmy, please.
Yeah. He's just the perfect looming specter.
Because we're doing double Emmys this year, so I think that's coming out here pretty soon. Bernthal and Jamie Lee Curtis, give him the Emmy.
Oh, yeah. She's another one, too. She doesn't even seem like the same person.
Yeah.
That's acting. She doesn't seem like the same person. But talk about the show's like such a powder keg. Like you're waiting for something. You're just waiting for something to go boom. And that's how you are with Berthanol. Everything about him, you're just waiting for something to happen because you just feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And everybody around him is like that. Well, at least I should say the main ones, like that whole family, I should say, right? Sugar Bear, Mikey Bear, they're all have that, like, something's about to pop.
Yeah. And because, they have the same mom.
Yeah. For a shoot, though, and like Mike was saying, like, you've been recommending this show for us for a while, but before we jumped on it. For some reason, I thought Sugar Bear and Mikey Bear were married, not brother and sister. And it made it so confusing for those first couple episodes. And I'm like, wait, who the hell is related to who?
Yeah.
And that was on me. That was just totally on me.
I have one lingering question that I can't figure out. And like, I don't know why. But I guess I kind of know why, maybe, or not. But it's why does everyone hate Sugar's new husband?
I don't know.
And then, like, Luciolotti was telling me that he did something in one of the episodes to offend them. I was like, I don't remember that happening.
Oh, in the holiday episode, the Christmas episode, he brought tuna fish.
Well, he brought the tuna, but nobody ever saw it.
No,
only Sugar saw
that's
it. So it's just, but
I feel
they
like
all hate him, and they're like, not like. I mean, they hate. Remember, like in the episode at the kid's birthday party where they give him all Xanax. Yeah. And he's passed out, and they're talking about just punching him in the face while he's passed out. Yeah. It's like, why do they hate this guy so much? That's one thing that I don't understand. And he is kind of he's a super dork and just like not cool. You know what I mean? He's definitely the least cool character in the entire show.
There's got to be a backstory episode to show why.
Give us that episode.
We need that.
Give us that backstory episode. Maybe he did something to Mikey, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
but I love this show would probably run another season or two, whatever. I think that's probably it. But I love the entire dynamic. I love having Bernthal in there for flashbacks. You know what I mean?
Yep. How
he's like the main driver of the entire storyline of the show, and he's not even in the show. He's not alive anymore. It's just, and I love Joe Bernthal more every time I see him in anything.
Yeah, he just works. This is one of those rare shows that there's no bad casting. Everybody is perfectly casted because they don't feel like they're performing, right? Everybody is at the top of their game in this show. Like nobody is phoning it in. So I'm really looking forward. And I think you're right. I think it's done after 4 episodes, right? I mean, 4 seasons?
I think that would be smart.
I think season 3 and 4, they're doing a back-to-back filming.
Yeah.
But how much more could you do, right? And how much more do you want to do? I mean, with a show that's so strong like this.
Yeah.
I really, you start dragging in, you can't have the jump the shark. You can't have the Cousin Oliver. You just got to let it go.
And let me just say, there's also, to me, I feel like I prefer the 30-minute show.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the thing is like, I feel like it's always been a thing where comedies were 30 minutes and dramas were an hour, right?
Right. Yep.
And I like the 30-minute drama.
Yes, I agree.
It feels good. It doesn't feel stretched out. Everything is important. It's yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why everything about that feels so tight.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to keep it contained in that, and they don't have that hour to stretch. I think that's really, everything. Good call. Oh, man, sorry. I lost it there. So we have the bear. We have the boys. The bear and the boys are going to carry the streaming day.
For June, that's solid.
Yeah.
Right? We got the NBA Finals. Well, that's going to be great, too.
Oh, my God. Oh, don't even. Oh. Can I say it? This is one F to fuck Boston. I don't think they're getting.
Oh my God!
How do you stop them?
Yeah, I think it's Dallas is going to get there. I feel like it, so that's going to be a good series. Yeah, I think
it's going to be. Yeah. Well, I mean,
can I just
Davey and Goliath for sure, and then we're everyone's going for Davey.
We'll see. I think it's going to be a great series. So we've got that happening, but movie wise, it's going to be Wasteland.
Yeah.
But TV wise, we've got good stuff coming. Good because because due to climate change, it's unseasonably hot outside.
It is, and Lee's going to be there watching House of the Dragon season 2. Remember, he came on here and was pitching you to watch season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2 is also going to drop.
So I guess June's TV month.
It is TV month. And then shout out to our friend Mandalorian at the Pop Break, right? She's going to be, The Acolyte is also dropping this month.
So definitely.
So we got a lot.
This is definitely TV month.
Yeah, it is going to be TV months.
All right, so let's book that. Let's program the show for June. It's going to be TV month.
TV month. We're all in. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit here. I don't know for a go home spot. Do you want to save it for a surprise? Do you want to do it on this one? Are you feeling it, or do you want to just want to do something else?
No, I think let's hold off on that.
Okay.
We'll do that machete cut for next time because
Yes.
I really want to flush it out.
I'm excited to do it.
We will give you a sneak preview. We got the machete cut for Back to the Future.
Yeah. And you are in.
Well, we'll do that next time because I really want to book it out better for.
And you're in for a treat. So thank you.
Oh, Chuckle says we got the Olympics.
Yes.
Also the Olympics.
We do have the Olympics on top of all of that. We have the Olympics coming out, so that's going to be awesome.
So yeah, that's fine, and then that'll get us to Deadpool.
Is there anything better than just leaving on your highest quality TV and watching people play volleyball and swim?
Drinking low alcohol content beer from dawn till the moment you shut your eyes at night.
It's so good, and then you're like, okay, it's 3 a.m. I guess I'll watch Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah, why not? It's not like you get to watch that all the time.
Right, no, you have
There's
to
not a
watch
Greco-Roman wrestling show that's on every week.
There's not many traditions that are left alive, and I'm just glad that the Olympics is still with us. It's still a thing.
Shout out to the Romans.
Yes, shout out to
the Greeks. It was the Greeks that came out with that.
Yes, yeah, we appreciate you still giving us all of that. So, all right, man. I think I'm going to tap. I think it was a noble effort.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back now.
Yeah, we're back.
You're going to sleep for a week. You're going to hibernate for a week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hibernate, sleep this off, get this road funk, get my legs out from underneath me. I got some. This takes stamina, what we're doing. And I still got my Jersey winter coat, I like to call it, which is basically watch a Dave Portnoy video and say, that pizza looks good. Let's go eat 8 slices each and see how good it is. So doing that once a week, apparently it'll catch up to you.
Sure.
Yeah, so I am officially almost at 3 bills. So shout out to that. It's really close.
Club.
Yeah. I have not been close to 3 bills in a long time. So here we are. So let's see. We got some kickboxing.
Well, you should come over earlier and we should jog before the show.
Yeah, just do some laps. Dude, I'd love to do the, maybe me and you can do like Rocky and Apollo in front of the mirror and practice our footwork, whatever it takes to get us going.
I'm into it. I'm in the same spot.
All right, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the support. The YouTube page has still been going strong, even with us kind of being on a hiatus. We're still getting clicks, so we do appreciate the support. We're still out there, and we're going to making some more stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.
Chuckles, we'll see you soon. We're going to make a movie soon.
Yes.
Work on your acting.
Yes.
Peace out.
All right, peace. See you.